Hi, I'm David.
I'm Ryan.
And we're going to review the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer that came out today.
Yes, did you like the first in the reboot series?
I did. I think Mark Webb did a great job. I think Andrew Garfield was a great actor for Spider-Man. I like the feel of the ultimate Marvel universe that these movies have been bringing in, and not so much the Silver Age, which is what the other Tobey Maguire movies were doing.
David, I'll tell you what. I'm right there with you.
Cool.
So, like, not to opposite bury the lead here, upside down pyramid. I love this trailer. It's amazing.
I like how we start with the spider. He's got his new suit now.
Yeah, and the new suit, by the way, I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
It looks like a comic book come to life. The color palette in this trailer is different than the first movie. It's a little brighter and more saturated, which I like as well.
This movie was shot in 35mm instead of Red Epic, which was what the last movie was shot on. Now, we got Spider-Man saving New York. That's a pretty cool shot. And then we had a graveyard.
We give it a play a little bit.
Wait, let's just go there for a second. So now we can see that's the Rhino. Well, this right here is the Rhino, and look, that's Paul Giamatti.
That's the top of Paul Giamatti's head.
Yeah, so he sits inside this suit. Now the Rhino in the 1960s Spider-Man is just this Russian mercenary who puts on this kind of like a rhino-looking suit, and he bashes through walls.
Well, not a rhino-looking suit. He's called the Rhino. It's a rhino suit.
Yeah, so he has like a rhino horn on his head, and it's a gray suit, and he's really big and strong, and he just breaks walls and robs banks. It's pretty simple character.
Yeah,
but
he's not a lot of moving gears.
Yeah, and here he's in this sort of Avatar mech suit. It's kind of inspired by the Ultimate Marvel Rhino, who's more of a robot.
Yeah, they're trying to be a little more realistic with this one, with giant mech robots.
And that's
so there's
clearly,
the back of Green Goblin.
That's the Green Goblin. It's green, it's the goblin-y eye, and then we got
this. I don't think we need to explain it anymore. It's green, goblin eye, it's the Green Goblin.
Who I didn't know was going to be in this movie.
The Oscorp building looking like it's been repaired from the first movie.
Yes, when the lizard destroyed a bunch of it.
So there's our first shots of Electro. We've been hearing a lot about... strange, that's Sony's logo.
Fox.
We've been hearing a lot about Jamie Foxx and also that Times Square sequence, which I think that they showed at Sony to a few press people.
Also, there was a trailer shown at Comic-Con that this is not the same trailer, and I saw a bootleg of it, and that trailer was completely about Electro. And this is more about basically the Sinister Six, as we're going to see.
Yeah, there's tons of
we can
hints.
stop there for a second.
Here's a Matrix shot.
If you look up here, follow the Daily Bugle on Tumblr. See?
Whoa, we're entering the new age.
2013 Spider-Man, guys. This is not your Uncle Spider-Man.
If we're following the release date, 2014 Spider-Man.
2014.
So, Matrix shot. It's been long enough that that's cool again. I'm gonna be honest. So,
Forever 21.
One of the highlights of the first film was the chemistry between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield, and I'm really excited. Yeah,
so let's go back. So Harry Osborn is now not James Franco, but Dane DeHaan, who is an amazing actor, I think.
A really incredible actor.
Yeah, Place Beyond the Pines, he was amazing.
And we're hoping that there won't be any scenes with Harry Osborn eating pie in this film.
Or the, what was it, like they're making an omelet together?
The omelet scene. We're hoping that neither Kirsten Dunst nor James Franco touched this movie with a 10-foot pole. So there's some cool tech.
So they're spying on Peter Parker. I think he knows he got bit by a spider at Oscorp.
I mean, that's also, we saw pictures from this sequence. That's Paul Giamatti driving that truck.
Yeah, there's an armored truck.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably early in the film. Maybe like a cold open kind of thing.
I really hope there's a good cold open to this.
Yeah. So they're digging more into the secretive life of Peter Parker as well, which they hinted more in the trailers for the first film and didn't really follow through on. Campbell Scott plays Richard Parker as father, which really excites me because that's an actor that I absolutely love.
Also, I love that this is the first thing we've seen. We never saw this in Tobey Maguire movies where the father is a character.
Yeah.
And now this frame is great.
Let's talk about this.
Okay, we got the Vulture on the left, and we got Dr. Octopus on the right. Now this is what should be a post-credit scene, right? Like this should be such a reveal.
I imagine. Now we can assume that this is Norman Osborn, who's being played by Chris Cooper, who we see a better shot of later. But the hints at the Sinister Six could not be bigger,
right here,
especially with these.
C6
they stop at the 6. Now, if you go back to the last frame, there's 7.
Oh.
But they very deliberately stop. I mean, they know what people are expecting here. What are behind those vaults, David?
Also, if we go back to that shot. So Harry Osborn has something green kind of on his neck. Looks like he got bit, maybe,
or a hickey.
Ooh. Yeah.
You ever think of that?
He was making out with a green goblin. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then we got Electric Eels. So that's Electro, Jamie Foxx.
Which is kind of a cool little, like, really silly comic booky thing that I'll buy. It looks like Dr.
Manhattan.
that electric eels are the way. Like, he falls into a vat of electric eels. I'm sure it's a little more...
Like, is Paul Giamatti going to fall into a vat of rhinos who bite him?
One can only hope. So there's our first shot of the glider.
Now that's
there's
Chris.
There's Norman
Cooper.
Osborn looking none too good.
There is the Rhino.
Yeah.
That's
so cool. This is just now we just get into like, hey guys, this movie's gonna be awesome shots.
This is bigger than you, Peter.
What's interesting to me about this trailer is that they really don't hide anything. They show you all the villains.
If we go back to that shot,
there's Dean DeHaan.
If we look at his hair, it's kind of swooped the same way that like the Green Goblin always had. You know, like that hat that kind of swooped back, and his face has kind of got like a crooked nose.
Yeah, and it looks very.
I think that's cool.
It looks very much like the Ultimate Green Goblin.
And it looks like they're fighting in some sort of like cathedral almost. I don't know what that is. A solarium maybe.
A solarium.
I don't know. There's like a glass ceiling.
Yeah, you know the famous Spider-Man solarium. I believe you. It does actually look like that. There's a plane.
There's an Iron Man 3 reference.
Well, I don't know if it's a reference. We see more and more from this Times Square sequence, which is probably going to be like the centerpiece of the film, which they probably spent so much money on. Also,
in the comics, if we can pause.
And look, if you see, like, Electro's kind of, like, teleporting around.
Yeah.
Which is rad. Or Electro.
Imagine this in 3D.
I wonder, what I'm wondering is, when Electro showed up in, there was a Spider-Man, double-sized issue in the mid-90s, where Electro showed up and Spider-Man made, like, an Electro-proof suit. And
I wonder if that's going to happen.
It really plays into Peter Parker's scientific thing. You know, he's a scientist. I really hope we see that. One, it's a really cool suit, and two, it really plays into the character in terms of what he's capable of scientifically, which is something with the web shooters that they're really going into more.
Yeah.
In this one, in Sam Raimi's series, you know, it was like he's really smart, and teachers seem to like him. And when Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head is playing, he does really well in school. But I think that they're starting to plant the seeds for him to be a really more
because he shows up with the Oscorp, the lizard's a scientist, and they sort of teach each other together, and there's a lot of the like, my dad was a scientist, and in the comics, the dad made Venom, which is this suit that everyone loves.
This is in the Ultimate comics.
Yeah, in the Ultimate Marvel, mostly written by Brian Michael Bendis. So let's hope they sort of bring in Carnage or Venom in the third movie, sort of using the father as
if only because the way that he was treated in Spider-Man 3 was
also
the most disappointing.
In Spider-Man 3, it was an alien, and in the comics, it's been changed.
Yeah, so. I mean, in the original comics, I think Todd McFarlane did the Venom saga in the 80s. It was the symbiote suit brought down from the moon. But you know, David, I'm super excited.
I'm excited. My only concern is, can they have 6 villains? Can they have this? Like,
it is the Spider-Man 3
with all
problem.
Superman or superhero movies, too many villains equals really bad. Usually, like, think of any movie where there's just tons of villains and they just want to make toys. That's not a good thing, but this could work.
Yeah, and I like the direction Mark Webb was headed with the first movie. There's no reason that I should be worried. No reason at all.
So yeah.
So let us know what you think of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer, and also, like, are you excited for this franchise as David and I are? And until next time, I'm Ryan.
And I'm David.
Thank you for watching.